Okay, welcome back. We are back. So electric field. My guess is that the speed of electric field. What do you think? Let's say you have positively charged particle, okay, and you have negatively charged particle, okay. So yeah, this. So the two electric field at some point they will cancel out, positive and negative, right? Yeah. Uh, so well, let's say you have positive charge, positive particle here, and positive charge here, right? Like 1 coulomb each. Okay, then in the middle, yeah, you have another positive charge particle. Then this side is not going to go anywhere. Why? Because it's this A and B, they are pushing this C in the middle, so it's not going anywhere. Okay. Now, but when you lift B out of the picture, then C will start to move the other way, assuming C is free to move and A is fixed. Okay. So then how long does it take? That's the speed of force field. Okay. Yeah. I'll give you like 1 minute, 2 minutes to think about this. Okay. Because I have a guess. All right. So we compare our answers. It's kind of getting chilly. Wait a minute. What's the easiest way to put this on? I guess like this. Okay. All right. Whew. It is getting chilly. So, okay. Yeah, keep thinking, okay? So, I give you like 5 minutes, I guess. So, yeah, beauty is like this, okay? It's like kind of like acting, alright? How you do your gesture or your facial expression, right? Yeah, beauty is very much acting, and acting is very learnable skill, right? Yeah, how do you angle your eyeball, right? Or your facial expression, your gesture, right? Whatever. The way you stand or sit like this, okay? Like sit there, whatever. You're leaning somewhere, okay? Hello, do this. Yeah, it's very much like acting, okay? So, which is learnable skill. Hmm. Yeah, it's like art imitates life, life imitates art. That kind of concept, right? So, all right. Okay. All right, let's compare answers. What's your answers? Uh, yeah, tell me. If you ask me, my guess is that is the speed of force field is infinite, instantaneous. That would be my guess. Why? That's very philosophical question. That yeah, it is physics question, but because speed of light is no longer the maximum speed in nature, at least in our opinion. So yeah, I think it's just instantaneous. So uh, because one way to think about it is this: is it pulling the string or pushing the rod in ether. All right. I think that's one way to think about it. Okay. How about electric wire? You turn on the switch, right? It takes a while before the light turns on. So the electricity, it has finite speed, and also it depends on the material. It could be copper wire or silver wire or iron wire or lead wire, right? Or some alloy mixed metal, right? And electron density in those metals are different. Okay, some metals have very tight electron density, some others don't, right? So from electron to another electron, there's some distance in this metallic wire. Okay, so once you turn on the switch, light switch, yeah, this electron should hit the other electron and they do move, but it's not like this pushing the rod. Okay, because there are some gaps between electrons. Okay, so that is not light speed. That's not instantaneous. Okay, oh. Light speed has absolutely nothing to do with that. Okay, so yeah, so a lot of things that they say in physics textbook need to be rewritten because they are wrong. Okay, they're kind of polluted by this Einsteinian notion of special and general relativity. The speed of light is somehow maximum speed, and they are wrong. Okay, it needs to be rewritten. Okay. So, could there be some errors in this our brand new theories? Yeah, it could be improved. But as far as we can tell, it's fine as it is. But our future generation may find some errors here too. Okay? Just like we found some errors in Einsteinian special and general relativity. And the entire special and general relativity is just wrong because it starts from the get-go made wrong assumption. Okay, so yeah, well, it is what it is. So okay, so photon is standing still in this spaceship because this spaceship itself is going at the speed of light. Okay, yeah, there's no more time dilation, space contraction. Yeah, it's just wrong theory. Okay, and there's no upper limit in speed. No, there's no such as a maximum speed. Right. So yeah. Now it's very liberating. Okay, we are no longer confined by speed of light. Right. So we are departing from Mr. Einstein, his framework. Okay, so there's no such thing as maximum speed. Okay, so yeah, so photon is right or is standing still in this spaceship, and once the spaceship starts to accelerate, and then photon will feel this ethereal wind and start to pull back, right? Yeah. Okay. So what do we mean by ideological force? It's like this kind of like God or human being, right? Who has dominion over all things. Okay, this pilot of the spaceship, he is controlling the acceleration of this spaceship. Okay, so that's why we put it way up there, and we just call it ideology. Okay, so why do people build spaceships? Because of some ideology that they advocate for, like NASA. Yeah, that's ideology, right? It's taxpayers' money. It's up to legislators to allocate how much money is spent in NASA's space exploration program. Space explorationism. Oh, it's taxpayers' money. Yeah. In humanology, yeah, everything is ideology. Okay. Yeah, that's what controls. It's very controlling force. Alright? Now, but we'll talk about this ideological force little by little. Let's not get too involved in this fourth echelon yet. Why? Because that's rather philosophically challenging concept. Alright? We started this fire, so we'll finish it, but uh, we have to do it little by little. Why? Because it's a somewhat challenging concept to grasp and to understand. Okay? But we do want to include that fourth echelon ideological force in this physics paper. Because at the same time, it will be very philosophical, metaphysical paper too. Okay, so we will include this, right? But for now, let's just do physics first. Let's straighten out these three echelons first. But they're a lot easier. Okay? And when we are done with three echelons, then we'll start thinking about fourth echelon in analogy to the physical levels. Because in humanology, yeah, metaphysical universe is a mirror image of physical universe. There's some definite analogy there, parallel. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I think I saw some fruitful eye, but we'll take 5 minutes. Okay. Very good. We are making progress slowly, but suddenly. So. Yeah. Photon, yeah, is both particle property and wave property, right? But yeah, we can think of photon as a particle that travels in a wave fashion. A particle travels in a wave fashion. Okay, so that's what I want to think about it. Okay, so uh, and it does not leave any trail behind it. Okay, once it's gone, it's gone. There's no trace. You cannot smell photon after it's gone. Okay, it does not leave any trace behind it. All right. So yeah, yeah, it's a particle travel in a wave fashion. Okay, that's one way to think about it. Okay. Enough with this. Okay, let's relax. We did our job. Okay, and we'll do the rest some other time. Okay, so let's not think about this anymore for tonight. Okay, we continue tomorrow. Okay, so enough physics for today. Yeah, I set my limit. Okay, because I'm a finite individual. Okay, I'm not a Superman. Yeah, just relax for the rest of the night, and let's talk about politics. Okay, so yeah, during my break time, okay, I read some news in the internet, and I was kind of surprised about this reaction about this presidential debate. They said it was a debacle, huge failure in President Trump's part. Really? I didn't think so. Yeah, he was rude, but hey, we all know that, no surprise there. Yeah, compared to 2016 debate, yeah, there was some sharp difference. But yeah, President Trump, yeah, his attitude, his strategy is that, yeah, let's just keep interrupting ex-Vice President Joe Biden, and but it was not received very well, and I was kind of surprised because I really enjoyed his performance and Vice President Joe Biden's performance. Okay, it was entertaining, so I liked it. But I guess many other people didn't like it very much. I liked it because something very different. It was exciting and hugely entertaining. Okay, they were very rude, and that's something you don't see very often, right? Presidential candidates of America being rude to each other. Uh, I enjoyed the debate. I really liked it. But other people said it was more like a yelling match, right? I mean, no surprise there. President Trump, he's dirty, he's street fighter, right? Yeah. And they also say President Trump, when he was asked about this, what, Proud Boys, this organization, they say Proud Boys is white supremacist group, but I don't think so. Well, first of all, the chairman of that organization is not white person, it's not Caucasian. He's Hispanic, he's brown. Okay, so yeah, the chairman of that group is not white. So some news outlets like CNN, more liberal leaning, they characterize Proud Boys, that organization, as white supremacist. Well, they didn't do their homework, I guess. So the chairman of that organization is not white. He's Hispanic. He's brown guy. He's not white guy. All right. So it's not a white supremacist group at all. So CNN, they got it wrong. Yeah, so yeah, Proud Boys, they are not white supremacists. They're just conservative organization. Okay. And then because President Trump did not disown that organization, he said something like, "Yes, stand back, stand by." So people interpreted his President Trump's comment some other ways, like stand by. What does that mean? Well, It's like stand by until we need you. So yeah, Proud Boys, that organization was very happy to hear that. Okay, but that's what they say in the news. Because they kind of took it as an approval of their presidential approval of their organization's existence, okay, and their purpose, kind of legitimization, right? Yeah, well, that's fair. But they're not white supremacist group, okay? So how about KKK, Ku Klux Klan? Are they white supremacist? Well, that's what other people say about them, all right? Uh, Back in the days, yeah, there's some violence committed by KKK, okay? And yeah, violence is wrong, period, okay? This is crime, right? Yeah, violence is wrong, period. And but white supremacism is some other people, is a label that other people put on some organizations in America, okay? I don't think any organization, American organization, portray themselves as white supremacists. I don't think so. There are advocacy groups in America that advocate for Caucasian race. That's great. At least I think so. Because BLM is an organization or ideology rather that advocate for African Americans. They also advocacy group in America that advocate for Asians or Jews, Arabs. That's great, right? So when there is a group, organization in America that advocate for Caucasians, I don't think it's fair to characterize them as racists or white supremacists. They're just advocating for their own race. Like, I mean, African Americans do it, Asians do it. Why not Caucasians? Right? So that's not fair. That's kind of racial discrimination right there. Discrimination against white people. That's not fair. That's racism. Very much racist. Right? Yeah, this movie was that Bruce Willis, like Die Hard, the third one, right? I love that movie, okay? The interaction with this white guy, Bruce Willis, and Mr. Samuel Jackson, okay, African American gentleman, who's fantastic actor. They are both great actors, right? Yeah. So if African Americans hate white people, that's racist. That's what Mr. Bruce Willis said in the movie, right? Yeah. So BLM I mean, BLM is started with good intention and venerable purpose, right? Yeah, Black Lives Matter, of course, we all agree. But later on, it changes characteristic. It became radicalized, and it adopted violence as their methodology. All right? Yeah, looting, rioting, arson, vandalism. Okay. So they went down. All right. So nowadays BLM is not popular anymore, right? So because what they are advocating is like black supremacism, all right, and very racist. Okay, they put African Americans above anybody else, any other races, and African Americans, they're like how much percentage of population is that? 20%, 30% in America. How about the rest of us? So they're estranging us and putting themselves above the rest of us. Okay, so it's destined to fail. Why? Because 70% of Americans are not African Americans. Okay? And even in African American population, probably like 10% are BLM activists. My guess is that 90% of African Americans, they don't care about BLM. Okay? But they're hardworking, law-abiding citizens. They don't complain. They don't blame racism. Why? Because they are successful and they are happy people. Right? They got nothing to complain. Right? But 10% of African Americans, I guess they're kind of BLM ideology subscribers. Right? They blame racism. Perhaps many of them are already way up there. Like Miss Kamala Harris or whoever. But they want to have more power, right? They want to go up next echelon, next level, so they take advantage of this BLM movement. Okay? Yeah, to become more famous, to make more money, to be more prominent, to become more famous. Alright? More powerful. Right? Yeah. So NPR, I mean, I listen to their radio shows. They run good shows. Yeah, liberal leaning to my taste, but they run good shows. Okay, so I listen to NPR sometimes. Okay, and nowadays, all the people, 90% of people they interview is African Americans. Okay, I don't you think that's racial discrimination? Come on. So yeah, that's what BLM has become today in year 2020. Okay, it went too far, right? Yeah, in the beginning, yeah, they it's about equality, right? But after they became equal, they didn't stop there. Now they want superior right for African Americans. Okay, so okay, yeah, just like LGBT ideology, right? It used to be about equal right of LGBT. Now they didn't stop there when the rights became equal. They pushed, continue to push. So now they want superior right. Okay, yeah. So BLM, LGBT, yeah, they are, they went through the same ideological trajectory. Okay, they didn't quite stop there when rights became equal. Feminism, likewise. Okay, yeah, feminism started with good intention, right? Equal right, okay, but when they achieved their goal of equality in gender, they didn't stop there. Kept on pushing. Now they're advocating for superior right for females. Okay, yeah, you've seen it before. Yeah, it's a pattern, right? Yeah. Yeah, so feminism later on it became radicalized, right? It started with good intention, I get it, but it became more like female supremacism. Okay? Yeah. Superior right to females. It didn't stop when rights became equal. Okay, so they want superior right to females. Okay, so yeah. We know all this, okay, so we'll take 5 minutes break, okay? So okay. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, I read in the news about this organization, Proud Boys, and their tenet is like all boy, all male membership. It's an organization, okay. Antifa, that's not exactly an organization. That's more like kind of informal. They don't have like headquarter or membership. Antifa like membership fee. I don't think they have. Okay, so it's more amorphous. Okay, but Antifa doesn't exist anymore. It exists very temporarily, very transient, kind of loosely connected kind of group of people to that during the 2016 election. Okay, nowadays Antifa doesn't exist. I don't think so. Yeah, it was just transient group of people in social media back in 2016. Nowadays, I don't think Antifa exists at all. Right? President Trump, yeah, he's like street fighter, so he want to point fingers. He want to make some enemies, right? Some people are like that, right? They just need to have some enemies, right? President Trump is one of those people, okay? So Antifa doesn't exist, okay? Not anymore. But yeah, Proud Boys is actually an organization. Yeah, they have membership requirement, right? Maybe membership card. They have their website, I guess. I don't know too much about them, okay? But what I know is just what I read in the news. Yeah, the all male is membership requirement, and they like traditional gender role, right? And they're pro-gun and also small government. So they're very much conservative agenda there, right? Yeah. So yeah, they go to protest, counter protest, whatever, rally, right? Yeah. If I was the president, would I have endorsed them? Yes. Why? As long as they are not violent, right? Yeah. It's, they are just exercising American constitutional right of association, of speech. Yeah. As long as they don't break any law. Yeah. Sure. Would I even endorse KKK? Yes, absolutely. Why? As long as they are not violent. Alright? I mean, there are minority groups in America, KKK. Back in the days, they did use violence, okay? That's not good. But nowadays, KKK, they don't use any violence. No. They're exercising constitutional right. Would I endorse KKK today if I was the presidential candidate? I am a presidential candidate, okay? I still am, but but I'm dark horse candidate, so. But if I was in the debate stage, would I openly endorse KKK in America today? Absolutely. Why? They are not violent. They don't break any laws. They're exercising constitutional right of freedom of speech, freedom of association. The very first amendment in United States Constitution. Okay. Would I endorse KKK? Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Because they are non-violent. Would I endorse BLM? No. Why? Because they are violent. Okay? The BLM protest is not peaceful protest. Some of them are, but the others are not. Well, they say, yeah, this looting or arson or they are not BLM people. No, they're disguised as BLM, but they're just criminals. They're not BLM people. Maybe, okay. But they're taking down. They're taking down the statues. Vandalism. Yeah, that's not felony. That's misdemeanor. I'm a lawyer, so yeah. Felony. Yeah, that's the arson, looting, which is burglary. You're breaking into somebody else's property with the intention of committing felony, like theft. Okay. And arson, yeah, you burning down some buildings. And burglary, you're breaking into somebody else's business property. They are felons. And theft, looting, yeah, they are felonies. But when it comes to vandalism, like spray painting, taking down those statues, that's misdemeanor. Like, yeah, up to $1,000 fine, up to 1 year in prison. Okay, but other crimes, they are felons. They're more than 1 year, more than $1,000 fine. Okay, so yeah, so when it comes to misdemeanor, yeah, BLM, you're taking down these Confederate general statues or renaming uh, towns names or military base name. That's not misdemeanor. There's some civil demand. Yeah, let's rename this military base because it's named after General Lee. My name is Lee too, okay, but I'm Asian. But yeah, Confederate General Lee or these Confederate statues, right? I do not endorse that, no. So we are talking about misdemeanor, right? Maybe felony people, maybe not that, maybe they are not BLM people, but they are just taking advantage of this BLM protest. Maybe they're just criminals, okay? So we'll just go along with this BLM activist argument, okay? Yeah, this felony people, they are not BLM people, they are just taking advantage of BLM movement. Maybe they're just criminals. Okay. Let's assume that is true, okay? Now, okay, how about taking down the statues? Spray painting, vandalism. That's misdemeanor. And BLM activists, they approve that. And I have to disagree. Why? Because that's illegal. So I do not approve today's BLM. They're breaking the laws. Even if it's just misdemeanor. If they don't want these Confederate general statues, they should go to due process. Write a letter to congressman, state legislator, or some civil petition or referendum. Write up some paper and get signatures to take down these statues. Referendum. Or some, yeah, propositions, or okay, all those ballot measures, right? Because this is America, okay? It's supposed to be most civilized country in the world, but it turns out that we are the least civilized country in the world, okay? So I cannot approve this today's BLM. I'm sorry. I mean, white supremacist groups, KKK today, they don't commit any violence. BLM does. They do commit misdemeanor at least. BLM activists, they approve taking down the statues and spray paint the statues, spray painting in the wall of buildings, government buildings. They do approve that. Okay? And I have to disagree. KKK today in America, they don't commit any crimes, not even misdemeanor. Okay? No. They're being peaceful. Today's KKK. Back in the days, yes, they did commit crimes, and that's wrong. But today's KKK, they don't commit any violence. They don't commit any crime, not even misdemeanor. Like BLM does. Right? So do I approve KKK? Yes. Do I approve BLM? No. Because it's about legality. Okay? Are they committing misdemeanor or not? Are they breaking the law or not? BLM is advocacy group who advocate for African Americans. Okay, KKK advocate for white Americans, right? But KKK today in America in year 2020, they are not being violent. They are not committing any crimes. They are not committing any misdemeanors. What BLM does, they take down the statues, spray paint in the wall, right? And that's misdemeanor, okay? And even if it's not misdemeanor, like they demand renaming towns or military bases name. I have to disagree with that. So I do not endorse BLM, but yes, I do endorse KKK. Why? Because they are being peaceful, and BLM is not peaceful. And BLM, yeah, this renaming the military bases, to me, that does not make any sense. Okay? Yeah. Because it creates too much confusion, right? I don't like renaming things like that, okay? Because I went to Fort Hood, Texas. I was stationed, I'm sorry. I went to Fort Benning, Georgia. And then I got for basic combat training. And I was stationed in Fort Hood, Texas. They want to rename both, right? Okay, it's too confusing, right? There are a lot of literature, magazines, newspapers, books that wrote about Fort Hood, Texas. That wrote about, have some reference to Fort Benning, Georgia. There's so many books, magazine articles, and newspapers. Okay, if they rename Fort Benning and Fort Hood with some other name, maybe Fort Obama or Fort whatever, right? Then when the future generation people read about these books that make reference to Fort Hood or Fort Benning, they will say, "What is Fort Hood? What is Fort Benning?" So there's this connection of knowledge, inheritance. It creates too much confusion and disconnection of this history. Okay? Because future generation, when they read this old book that wrote about, gave reference to Fort Benning, Fort Hood, where is Fort Benning? What is Fort Benning? What is Fort Hood? It's because it got renamed. Okay, so they don't know what this book is talking about. Okay, that's very destructive. That's very harmful. Okay, so yeah, I have to oppose today's BLM. Original BLM, yeah, I agree. Right? Yeah, yeah, of course, Black Lives Matter. Hmm? Yeah, the solution is this: it's technological solution. We should come up with some invention so that some electric shock, okay, some gun that can shoot out this painful electrical charge, okay, so that they can neutralize these potential criminals in a safer way as opposed to killing them. Okay, I agree. Okay, solution is technological invention. Okay, we'll take 5 minutes. Right. Okay. 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 Let's see. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I'm looking at my martial art weapons and see if they are all there. Let me see. Something missing. I think I used to have more. Okay. I used to have one more wooden stick. Where is it? I had losing things, so. Oh, it's right here. Okay. Okay, let's go. Okay. Good. All right. So we are dealing with some very controversial topic here. Hey, welcome to humanology. Okay, that's what we do. Okay, yeah. So today's KKK and people, some people characterize today's KKK as white supremacist group, but it's the label or characterization that other people put on white KKK. They characterize the KKK, today's KKK, as white supremacism. But I don't see it that way, okay? I don't see it that way. I think there are groups in America, very peaceful group, that advocate for Caucasian race in America, okay? So I think that's a good thing, all right? I don't think they're white supremacists. I don't think KKK characterize themselves as white supremacists. It's some other people characterize KKK as white supremacism. They put label on them, okay, to demonize them, and I don't think that's fair. Okay, I mean nobody characterized BLM as black supremacists group, but that's how I characterize BLM today in year 2020 as. Yeah, they're very much black supremacists. Okay, they put their race over every other race. Okay, if we say all races matter, they characterize us. If I say all lives matter, would character BLM activists would characterize me as a racist, and I think that's racist. I think BLM today is very much racist, and they are very much black supremacist. Okay, I mean, if I say all lives matter, I'm a racist. I think you are the racist. Okay, so you are saying only black lives matter. That's what you're saying. If I say all lives matter, I'm a racist. Okay, so I'm only allowed to say black lives matter and nothing else. That's black supremacism right there. Hmm? Yeah. And that's not fair. That's not equality. Okay, that's superiority of black race. Okay, so today's BLM, I have to say no to it. And because it's not equal, it's self contradiction. Okay, just like LGBT ideology, right? Yeah, it's just not very good ideology. Okay, so yeah. But KKK today, back in the days, yeah, they used to be racist, they used to be violent. Okay, yeah, it was wrong. But today's KKK is very much minority. Okay. Back in the days, KKK, yeah, it was very mainstream. They had unchecked power, just like today's BLM, unchecked power, tend to lead to corruption, right? Yeah. So today's BLM is going through the same thing like KKK went through back in the 60s, 70s, 50s, 20s, 30s, 1930s, whatever. Yeah, they used to have unchecked power, KKK. So yeah, they engage in violence, illegal activity, and that's what today's BLM is going through. They engage in illegal activities, unchecked power, because so hugely popular. Okay, but today in year 2020's KKK, they are minority group. They don't have that much power, right? So they are not that corrupt. They don't commit any violence. Right? Because they don't have unchecked power like today's BLM does. Unlike back in the day, KKK did. Okay? Yeah, so there's some symmetry there. BLM and KKK. Okay? Yeah, so metaphysical universe, physical universe, they kind of parallel, mirror each other, right? You have inertia. They don't stop here, they keep on going, keep on pushing, right? So, and symmetry between KKK and BLM, right? Yeah. So it's good to learn physics and mathematics, logic. Okay, it does help us analyze what's happening in this world, in politics, activism, right? Yeah. Yeah. It does help. Okay. So I'm blessed with this Korean man mandatory education system, right? We had to learn mathematics, we had to learn logic, right? Fourth order logic, and we had to learn about fallacies, logical fallacies, formal and informal. Korean education system very much mandatory. We had to learn everything. We had to learn history, Eastern history, Western history, everything. Yes, I'm blessed with Korean mandatory education system. Of course, at that time I did not like it. I hated it. But looking back, I'm very grateful to our teachers in South Korea that these educations were mandatory, right? 'Cause I learned a lot. Even in America, when I was in college, Madison, Wisconsin, okay, some classes were mandatory. Very grateful. Great teachers, professors, okay? Yeah. We had to learn Microsoft Word, Excel. As a computer science major, I had to learn linear algebra, matrix, okay? Yeah, among others. Yeah, 2 semesters of physics, mandatory. Actually, I think it was like 3 semesters of physics. And 2 semesters of chemistry, yeah, mandatory. As a bachelor of science, right? And like 2 semesters of biology too. It was mandatory. Um, I'm glad they did require us to study that. Wonderful science. Okay? And yeah, 3 semesters of calculus, of course. Okay? Yeah, that was good. And one mathematics class after 3 semesters of calculus, one higher mathematics class. Okay, yeah, it was all mandatory. Okay, so kind of calculus related. Okay, so yeah, we don't learn all that stuff. Okay. Also, yeah, operating system, database, numerical analysis, algorithm class, theoretical computer science class. They're all mandatory. Okay, I'm glad they did require us to take those classes because they're good classes. Hmm. Let me turn on the heater. It's getting real chilly. Wow, I gotta put on another layer. Give me a second. Yeah, so today's KKK, they're not violent. They're very minority group and they're law-abiding citizens. They're advocacy group for Caucasian race in America. I guess they are just exercising constitutional right. It's not popular. So do I endorse their existence, organization? Absolutely. Okay, because not, they are not breaking any law. They have their belief system. Okay, people may disagree. So what? They are not breaking any laws. Okay, it's freedom of expression, freedom of speech, and freedom of affiliation, association. Yeah, they're exercising constitutional rights. So do I endorse today's KKK in America? Absolutely, because they're not breaking any laws. They're not harming anybody. Okay, they may have some quirky ideas, and I don't think their ideas are very quirky either. Okay, they love their race, Caucasian white race, so they want to protect and preserve their race. What's wrong with that? We do that in dog breeding as farmers. We want poodles to be poodles, okay? You preserve and protect this unique species. We want Chihuahua to be Chihuahua, okay? German Shepherd, okay? Pepper dogs, okay? Pedigree, right? Yeah, purebred. What's wrong with that? I think it's a good thing, okay? I'm kind of old school, okay? Yeah, I mean, I have dated some young Caucasian ladies in the past when I was young and dumb, okay? But nowadays, I don't even date. If I date mature ladies. We're not gonna have any children, okay? Well, I'm mature myself. I'm 42, okay? I'm not gonna date some young Korean American girl. Why? Because she should marry a guy who would have children with her. Okay, I don't want any children. Okay, so I'm not gonna date any young ladies. No, I'm mature myself. I'm 42. Okay, so I date ladies if I ever do. Okay, mature ladies. Okay, who are not gonna have any children. Okay, because I don't wanna have any children. Okay, so. So yeah, I don't think KKK is white supremacists. I don't. I think that's mischaracterization, right? I think they are advocacy group for Caucasian race. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, right? We have in America we have Asian advocacy group. Okay, we have American Indian advocacy group. All right, we have African American advocacy group, right? Or Indian American group, Jewish American group, Middle Eastern American group. Okay, yeah. So why not Caucasian advocacy group like KKK today? This if we allow Asian advocacy, African American advocacy, Jewish advocacy, and Middle Eastern advocacy, Native advocacy, Indian advocacy in America, then why should we not allow Caucasian advocacy group like today's KKK? So that's like discriminating against Caucasians, white people, and that's racist, and that's wrong. But we do know, we do understand why it is happening today in year 2020. We do understand as humanologists. Okay, we object, but we do understand though why that's the case. Why it is happening that way? Why Americans are discriminating against Caucasians and white people? We object to this phenomenon that's happening, but we at the same time we understand why it is happening. Okay, we'll talk about that. Okay, that's my question. Why is it happening that way? Why are Americans discriminating and singling out against Caucasians, against white people? Okay, that's the question, and that's my question to you, and we'll compare the answers. Okay, in 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, so it's been 1 hour already. Okay, we'll talk about that. Okay.